The Fireball Super Witches is the strongest attack strategy at Town Hall 14. The main thing you need to know when using this attack is that everything revolves around your Super Witches. Everything in this army is based around keeping your Super Witches alive and moving through the base. You only get 3 of them, so it's extremely important to do whatever you can to keep them alive. That's why we bring the Apprentice Warden to increase their maximum health, 2 Super Wall Breakers to start the attack, 2 Druids to heal the Super Witches and then begin to tank for them, 4 healers for the Warden Walk that will then become healers for the Witches, Earthquake Boots to open up the core of the base, and even healer puppets that have a chance to heal the Witches as well. The hero equipment is going to be very important for this attack. On your Grand Warden, you have to use the Fireball and the Rage Gem. You should not be substituting these with anything else. This is very important because you're going to start off your attack with the Warden Walk and get as much value as you can with the Fireball and 2 Earthquake spells. And then after your Fireball, your Grand Warden's job is to just follow the Super Witches with the Rage Gem. And I don't think any other equipment with the Fireball is going to be that great, except for maybe the Life Gem if that's all you have. On your Barbarian King, you have to be using the Earthquake Boots. These are going to be very important to open up the middle of the base and make sure your Super Witches and the Skeletons can get through the middle of the base very easily. The other equipment for your Barbarian King aren't as important, but I usually use the Spiky Ball or the Vamp Stash. The Spiky Ball should be used to help funnel or do massive damage to key defenses in the core of the base. And the Vamp Stash can be very helpful to keep the Barbarian King alive and tank for the Super Witches. The equipment for both the Archer Queen and the Royal Champion aren't really important to the attack. The only equipment I would really recommend is a healer puppet because it can not only heal your queen, but eventually it might start healing your Super Witches as well. But for my attacks, I use the Magic Mirror and the healer puppets because the Magic Mirror is going to do a lot of damage and the clones will also tank for your Super Witches. On the Royal Champion, I use the Rocket Spear and the Electro Boots. With the Rocket Spear, I try and take out any major threats to the Super Witches, like single Inferno Towers and Scatter Shots. Now let's go over the 5 steps that you need to know for this attack. The first step is the Warden Walk Fireball. Step number 2 is create the funnel with the Siege Barracks. And sometimes you can use the Archer Queen or Royal Champion to help with this. Once the funnel is set, then you can deploy the main army, which is step number 3. Once the main army is moving through the base, the 4th step is opening up the core of the base with your Earthquake Boots. And the final step in the attack is finishing off the base with your cleanup troops, the jump spell, and the Royal Champion if you haven't used her already. So with the Warden Walk, you're going to pick a target for your Fireball, which is either going to be an Eagle Artillery, Inferno Tower, Scatter Shot, or the Clan Castle. And whichever one of those is surrounded by the most buildings that you're going to get the most value out of is the one that you're going to pick. So once you have your target, you're going to drop a balloon and then your Warden with 4 healers. Once you're in the correct position, you're going to use your invisibility spells to help direct your Fireball to your target defense. And right after you use the Fireball, you're going to use both your Earthquake spells right where the Fireball lands. And that combination should be able to kill anything except for the Town Hall. After you've used the Fireball, you're going to work on step 2, which is creating the funnel. And you're going to create the funnel with the Siege Barracks and maybe your Archer Queen or Royal Champion. It really depends on the base layout. And after you created the funnel, you're going to do step 3, which is deploying the main army. Now when you're setting the troops, you're most likely going to be placing your Barbarian King first to drag over your Grand Warden to the rest of the crew. Then you should be using the Ice Golem to tank for the Super Witches. And then you should be placing your Super Witches and your Apprentice Warden. And then use the Super Wall Breakers to get into each compartment. And then you should be saving your Druids for maybe halfway through the attack and then setting them in to heal the Super Witches and then tank for them. And now that your main army is deployed, you should be focused on step 4, which is figuring out where to use your Earthquake Boots. You're most likely going to be using the Earthquake Boots to help you move into the middle of the base. And after you've done that, you should be focused on step 5, which is finding out where to send your cleanup troops and where you're going to need to use your jump spell. And if you haven't used your Royal Champion yet, you should be looking to see where you could possibly take out a major defense with your Rocket Spear. Now let's walk through some attacks. On this attack, I'm going to start with the Warden Walk at the bottom of the base and get huge value from the Fireball, taking out the Eagle Artillery and Clan Castle. Then I'm going to create a funnel at the left side of the base with the help of the Royal Champion and Siege Barracks. Once the funnel is set, I'm going to place the main army and they're going to make their way towards the core of the base with the help of the Earthquake Boots. While that's happening, the Siege Barracks troops and the Royal Champion will also be taking out the entire top side of the base. Then all of the troops are going to make their way towards the backside of the base for an easy 3-star, with tons of troops still alive. Now here's the replay. This next attack I'm going to show you guys is actually against a Town Hall 15, just to show you how strong this army can be. I'm going to start off with the Warden Walk at the top of the base and get a massive fireball into the core of the base and take out the Eagle Artillery and Monolith. Then I'm going to start the funnel at the right side of the base with the Siege Barracks and Royal Champion. But my Royal Champion actually dies here pretty quick because of a scatter shot and an enemy minion prince. Then once the funnel is set, I'm going to place the main army here, and they're going to make their way to the core of the base by opening it up with the Earthquake Boots here. My king actually strays away from the main army and ends up taking out the bottom half of the base, along with the troops from the Siege Barracks. Then I'll put some cleanup troops here to help the Super Witches finish off the rest of the base for an easy 3-star. Now here's the replay. Now I'm going to show you a war attack with defensive CC troops, as well as Valkyries, a jump spell, and a poison spell for my CC troops, which is what I would recommend for most war attacks. As always, I'm going to start off with the Warden Walk. This time it's going to be at the bottom of the base to take out the Eagle Artillery and Inferno Tower with the Fireball. Then I'm going to place the Siege Barracks on the left side of the base to create the funnel. Then the main army will go here and take out this compartment with the Scatter Shot. Then the King is going to go to the top of the base along with the Valkyries from my clan castle. At the same time, the main army is going to make their way to the middle of the base and take out the Town Hall. Once all that is finished, then I'm going to use the Royal Champion and cleanup troops to help finish off the rest of the base for an easy 3-star. Now here's the replay. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe and check out my channel for the best attack strategies and other information you might need to know about Clash of Clans.